Marfoogle News live in 3, 2, 1.
Everyone already knows we're old for this bowl.
All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam A.K. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We've got really urgent updates tonight as far as there is, of course, a lot to be said right now about what is happening in the world. Obviously, over the last week, we've been talking about the new strategy or the new security strategy that the president put out along with his administrations, essentially saying that the rest of the world can fend for themselves. The U.S. is going to protect herself. And this is, again, lining up with exactly what I've said has been going on for the last year with whatever has been going on with, of course, the protection from invasion, the National Guard boots all over the place, of course, the ICE missions that have all been, of course, debated left and right. But now we have, of course, Trump says that Russia has the upper hand as U.S. pressures Zelensky on the peace plan. In fact, we'll talk about this. There's deadlines in place as well. President Trump said that there's no question that Russia is in a stronger negotiating position, that Ukraine has the upper hand, that Ukraine and has the upper hand amid high-stakes discussions to end the years-long war. The big picture: in a new interview, Trump aired his frustration that Ukraine has yet to accept a proposed peace plan, which would require major territorial losses and other concessions. So it's reversed now. Again, essentially what Zelensky wanted was that they leave Crimea and Donbass be left alone. Of course, in this peace plan, under the 28-point plan, which has been pulled, apart, essentially they would have to give up Donbass and Crimea and half of their military. So this is something that Zelensky is never going to take. And of course, after a meeting with NATO, with Macron and Polish Prime Minister and several others, and Keir Starmer, they've basically, patted him on the back and says, no, we got this. At the same point, in the last few days, we put out this NSS that essentially says, okay, well, if you guys want to get that on your own, and if you want to do that war on your own, go for it. This is at least what people think. I believe that it is because we are going to be dealing with China. If you read all the way through that national security strategy, it highly centers around China. Meanwhile, everyone else is talking about Russia and Ukraine. Now, before we move on, make sure to go check out marfooglenews.com/EMP, especially right now because the end of the Black Friday sale is going. And again, this is the largest sale they've done in 4 years now. Again, they've never done one bigger, which is 25% off from them, plus our grandfathered in $50 off per device discount. That means that if you get one, you get 50, 2, 100, 3, 150 off. So if you want to do your car, truck, motorcycle, or car, truck, generator, car, truck, house, you can combo that together, and on top of the 150 for 3 off, again, you would get that 25% off. Or if you get one, you would get 25% plus 50. Again, a very great deal for a device that you cannot get in stores. This is the same tech and the same company that outfits agencies like DHS, DOW, the FBI, Air Force, the DEMSO team helping protect the Texas grid. So go check it out. They are quietly doing protection for themselves. That means that we should guaranteed be loudly doing it for us. marfooglenews.com/EMP, and make sure to use the code MARF, again, to get both discounts right now. All right, let's bring in my co-host/internet brother, Dex James. What is going on, and how are you doing today?
Hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So we have the first entrance into Venezuela, at least one of, not only the first, but a long, extended one at that.
It certainly is. So 2 U.S. F-18 fighter jets flying in tandem have entered into Venezuelan airspace. Today, they were circling over the Gulf of Venezuela in the latest show of force. The flyover carried out despite Venezuela's regime's possession of a number of Russian-made anti-aircraft batteries. It took place just 100 miles northeast of Maracaibo, which is the second largest city there. Thousands of Venezuelans tracked the aircraft online through specialized tracking website, watching the jets traced a bow tie shaped pattern over the Gulf. The fighters remained inside Venezuelan airspace for at least 40 minutes at an altitude of roughly 25,000 feet before heading north. The U.S. fighter jets flew between 2 key regions in Venezuela's energy sector, the Zulia and the Falcon states. Lake Maracaibo, also, whose 5,000 square miles make it one of the largest fresh bodies of water in the continent, is cradled of the reserves of some 150 billion barrels of crude oil. So look, this is very much a tactic being used. We've seen China do this with Taiwan over and over again, where you launch and you come in. And maybe not in China's case, they didn't actually enter Taiwan's airspace. They crossed over the median line. But in this case, entering the airspace is either A, to see if they will provoke a missile launch, and B, it is absolutely to test what's the reaction. Like, do they scramble? How fast do they move? How quickly do they start to track and lock on? What is the response of the military there? So the U.S. military is obviously gaining a ton of information from this flight, in my opinion, and it certainly is the very clear sign that they are on the brink of potentially going in.
Yeah, and you can see from the actual flight radar here that they're going deep past at least two of their defense mechanisms here, over at least in Macau, I believe, and the other one in Punto Vio, I think. There was tweets actually talking about where the defense mechanisms are, so I'm not confirmed on that. But again, at least one of their defense mechanisms was, again, this passed them and went into this body of water. So it almost looks like they were being careful to be exactly in the middle. So if they did take a pop shot, that they would have room to knock down whatever they sent at them. This looks like they're trying to get them, like do something, buddy. That's exactly what it looks like to me. What does it look like to you? Let me know in the comments down below. By the way, thank you, Becky, Joel, of course, Jeremy Dalton. We have Paulette Owens. We have Jen Boyles and so many others in the chat. Thank you so much for making it to this short show. Again, they also have Trump send shockwaves through Latin America as he hints 2 more nations are in his sights for a Venezuela-style crackdown. Of course, they talk about Venezuela, but also Colombia and Mexico. Well, this is no surprise. I told you guys that this was going on, and of course, many of you didn't need to be told. Many of us have been seeing this for a while, and I believe that this all has something to do with the last 4 years and the countries and the leaders that were complicit in having these people that were coming from Venezuela through Colombia, through Panama, through Ecuador and Honduras and all of these other places into our country. There were leaders that were purposely pushed into a place where they would let all of this happen. These caravans could have been stopped at any point during any of these other countries saying, hey, where are all these people coming from? But of course, no one turned them around. In fact, they helped them. They provided places along the way and instructions in some cases. So this is something where I think that they're going after every country that had a part in whatever was planned. Now, if you actually read that full national security strategy, it's really clear. He says or they say it in almost every other way, that there was an invasion going on, or that there is an attempted invasion of our country. And this isn't just people coming in for a better life. We're talking about foreign powers sending in non-uniformed soldiers into our country. And they essentially said that they were super fast in trying to catch it, doing a 180 and stopping it. They're literally using, invasion in there several times. And I don't think that it is an exaggeration. I don't think that they're talking about just the people looking for a better life. Not to mention, they do mention the strain on any economy when you bring in tons and tons of people on that actual economy. It does strain resources. It doesn't, no matter how you crack it. A lot of people say, oh, well, we can take in as many people as possible. Well, talk to any financial analyst. They'll tell you that that is not going to be the case. Any housing specialist, they're going to say that it's not a case. Any job specialist, they're going to say that's not the case. So it does put a strain on countries, and they're even accusing other countries of playing into this, that foreign powers were the ones that's sending these people in purposely to strain us and to screw us up. Not to mention, they also mention cyber attacks and cyber campaigns. Now, I highly believe that we've had cyber campaigns that have divided us completely. Now, right now, you most likely hate the other side of the party, and they probably hate you, which the stats show that by huge surveys of people that absolutely hate the other side. But don't you feel at all crazy that that literally all of us have basically been brainwashed into thinking that some greater power has basically made us hate each other instead of hating up. That's what I don't get. Again, this is something that where all of these people have essentially had all of this social media and the new kind of bloodline of propaganda going through them every single day, purposely being served up something violent, something happy, something animal related, just to make them literally believe in this algorithmically, challenged kind of world that we think we're in. Meanwhile, our family units are destroyed, our culture is destroyed, our literal way of life is destroyed, our pockets are destroyed, everything is being destroyed right now. And I'm not saying that the president is the hero that's going to stop all that, but I do think that he cares about his legacy, and I think that there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that they're not telling us. And I think that it's been obvious what's been going on, that there was a planned event, and I think that it may still will be going on. But that's why we've seen all of this. And I think very soon, or 10 years down the road, we'll see if this does get quashed or stomped, that we're going to see this declassified as one of the biggest attacks on the American people we have ever known. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. We're going to talk about much more over on Marfoogle TV. We've got a lot more to go over. We're going to go deeper into this and more. Over that, we're going to go on the other country that they're talking about here, again, and some of the opinions on that as well. So make sure to join us over on Marfoogle TV. If you're in the chat, just stay there. You'll be ported over. If you're watching the replay, just click here. See you in just a few minutes. Be safe, be prepared, and start getting prepped.